Hundreds of mods exist for Skyrim that add new quests and storylines to the game. These mods range in quality from professional grade to barely playable to just plain bizarre. I'm formerly Blue, and in this series I'm reviewing every Skyrim quest mod, and then we're gonna rank them. Today, we'll be looking at Strange Friendships Hagravens, originally released in September 2018 by Mudrin. As I do for every review, I'll start with my spoiler-free review, before diving into full spoiler thoughts and highlights from my playthrough. Strange Friendships adds a tiny quest with 2 new NPCs. The premise is that you meet a somewhat friendly Hagraven and can pursue an apprenticeship with her to study witchcraft. You can start the quest at any time by speaking to the Hagraven outside the Glenmoril Coven cave in Falkreath. I wish I could say this mod was good. The premise is great, but this mod does virtually nothing with it. The storyline is borderline nonsense, and the twist was just so bizarre I actually had to check my quest journal to understand what happened and what I was supposed to do next. I'll explain that part more in the spoilers section of this review, which will be coming up shortly, because there's really not much to talk about without getting into the details. The dialogue and voice acting are also of questionable quality. I love the idea of siding with a Hagraven, a monster skilled in witchcraft and blood magic, to learn her forbidden arts. I just wish this mod had actually let me do anything resembling that instead of what ended up happening. So let's just get into the full review with spoilers now. Really though, there's not much of a storyline to spoil anyway. We decide to seek out tutelage in the ancient druidic arts from a Hagraven who we locate outside the Glenmoril Coven cave. She's looking for a new apprentice following the death of her old one, and we're hoping to take up that position. She requests that we bring her several ingredients, so we head out into the Falkreath forest to gather them. I find a mushroom that I believe fits her request and go to return it to her, which is when I realize that the mod isn't actually going to check if I have the ingredients before letting me progress anyway. This is clearly an example of poor coding, but I'm not complaining because I didn't want to do a boring fetch quest anyway. So next, the Hagraven wants us to bring someone named Marina to her for unclear reasons. We find her a little ways down the path, and she's willing to follow us if we claim we have something to show her, despite her not knowing who we are. Also, she walks really slowly. We guide her back to the cave. There, the 2 Hagravens talk and apparently decide to work together and kill me. I'm very confused, but my quest journal confirms that I should fight them, so I do. And weirdly, they seem to not have any magic abilities. Maybe I wasn't going to learn much from her anyway. They eventually die, and that's the end of this quest, apparently. I barely understand what happened in this mod, but it definitely was not the apprenticeship to a Hagraven that the mod's Nexus page promised. I guess the point was that the author thought trying to study with a Hagraven would be a bad idea. Anyway, when I say I'm reviewing every Skyrim quest mod, I mean it. I hope we can get a Hagraven apprenticeship mod in the future though. That's all for this mod review. Thanks as always for watching, and let's hope we get a better mod next time.